Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And this week's special guest, Tiara.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
All right. Yes, it's great. It's great having you here. Please come back all the time.
Wow, I feel so welcome.
Yeah, it's the best I could do. Checked out this week. We're gonna jump right into it. Checked out this week. I watched a movie called Love Hard. No, it is not a. It's not a porno. It is on Netflix. This is a very, very sweet Christmas movie. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Who's in it?
Micah, you'll appreciate this. It's got Jin Yang from Silicon Valley. He's the lead.
Oh, I know that guy is funny.
Yeah, he is funny. It's about this woman who writes for like some online magazine, and she writes like a dating column because she just has like these perpetually terrible dates, and so she writes about them. And she ends up, she's like, oh, you know, my love life is fucking terrible. Is I'm only looking for guys on these dating apps that are like 8 miles away from me. And her friend is like, just open it up to the whole country. Like, who cares? Let's just see what happens. And she opens it up to the whole country, and she matches with this guy on like a Tinder type of thing. And he's like this really handsome guy, handsome white guy. And they start talking, and like everything is great. They start talking on the phone. Everything is great. It's wonderful. And she's like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. And her friend is like, you've never met him. Like, you know, come on, like get some pictures of him like holding a newspaper so you know it's like real. And so he sends back a picture of him holding this paper that has her name on it. It's like, hi, Emily, or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, it is really him. And so then like they start talking and all this other stuff. And so she decides that she's going to fly to New York, where he is from LA, and surprise him for Christmas. Because he says, oh, I wish you were here with me for Christmas. And she does. And she goes to his house. Somehow she gets his address. She goes to his house. And it turns out it's Jin Yang from Silicon Valley. Like the very opposite of this white guy. And so he catfishes her, right? But it was really him on the phone, and they really did have this connection, and like they really did get along and everything. But he's like, hey, the guy that was in the picture is actually a guy I went to school with, right? Like he's like a friend of mine, like a former friend of mine. He's like, since you came all this way, sorry, I was like catfished you. I'm an asshole. He's like, I'm going to hook you up with this guy, right? He's a really nice guy. I'm going to hook you up with him. And so he tries to attempt to hook her up with this guy, and like the guy is a nice guy, but like it doesn't like really work. It's a stereotypical movie. You can see where the plot goes. Eventually she realizes this Jin Yang character is like the guy she really was in love with. But it's a sweet movie. But the thing about it, and it's got some pretty funny parts about it, but the thing about it, what I realized is, you know, people often say, rom-coms are stereotypical. Like, I like watched the trailer. I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen in this movie, right? Like beat for beat. But what I realized,
I've seen Roxanne before.
Right. Exactly. But what I realize is the reason why they're so by the book and so predictable is because of the topic. People don't want an unpredictable love story. People actually want a very predictable love story that the person that you think is going to get with the girl or get with the guy at the end does, right? Like it's the one thing we don't want to see, a surprise of like, yeah, and they never got together, and that's the end of the fucking story, and everyone is still single. Like nobody wants to watch that type of movie. But it's a cute movie. Like it's like an hour and a half. It's a pretty easy watch. I enjoyed it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Were there any think pieces about this movie about how they used an Asian man, an East Asian man, as the primary character that catfishes? I'm assuming that the woman is a white woman.
Yeah, she is a white woman.
Is she white?
Yeah.
Okay. So how they use this Asian man
yes.
in this plot device that is kind of racist. Were there any think pieces about that?
Yeah, that's why we don't have you on here anymore.
You young people can't enjoy shit. No, incidentally though, the movie does address that, right? Because like she's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, you're not anything like this. Like, you don't look anything like this guy. And he's like, oh, so it's because I'm Asian. Like, you got a problem with it, right? Like the Asian guy's not seen as like sex symbol type of shit. And she's like, no, I dated an Asian guy before. He was fucking beautiful. Like, fuck you. Like, so it wasn't that she had a problem with dating Asian guys. It was just that he wasn't this guy that he purported to be. So they do address it.
Why'd they break up? Huh? Was the Asian man not treating the white woman right? Huh?
From what I understand,
was he a misogynist?
I appreciate you adding context to that. But what I'm saying is, someone could still watch that movie and still ignore everything you just said, and then still write that thing for you. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's because your generation is the worst. Yes, that's correct.
What? Do you realize that the oldest millennial is like 40?
I thought you were a Zennial, weren't you? Didn't you just turn 20?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll fight you.
The answer to the correct response to the oldest millennial is 40 is I'm 41.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's 41 then.
No. You already said it.
Nah.
1980, right?
Yeah, 1980 I'm cuspy. I'm Gen X. I don't claim y'all.
Mm-hmm. Barely. Okay.
Look. Ask any Gen Xer. A W is a W.
You're barely a Gen Xer. Barely.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Ask any racer.
Ask any Gen Xer. Any Gen Xer. Whether you're in by a day or a week, a millennial is a millennial.
That's right.
I'm 30 years old. I'm an adult.
Barely. You're barely an adult.
Okay. Whatever.
You just became an adult last week. Get out of here. Speaking of adults, Tiara and I both watched Red Notice, which is full of adults acting like children.
I watched 30 minutes of Red Notice.
I watched the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle.
I did intend to watch the whole thing this afternoon. In fact, I put it on the background, and
I intended to watch it. I had it on the background and wasn't looking at the screen. Got it.
I sat with my laptop and I was like, I'm gonna turn this on because it looks like a fun time. And then I paused it and I left the room, and I haven't been back to it yet.
Oh.
But the 30 minutes I saw were they were fine.
Average.
Yeah, I mean, they were cool. I mean, it felt like a typical, rock movie. The Rock playing a law enforcement guy named John Hartley, and I was like, okay.
It's a classic Samoan name, John Hartley.
I was like, Luke
to
Hobbs.
be fair, Dwayne Johnson ain't a classic Samoan name either. So
it's close enough.
But Dwayne Johnson sounds like a man of color. Just saying.
I love. That's my favorite thing is to get mad at The Rock and just refer to him as Dwayne. It's just funny to me.
I mean, I think I tapped out with I think Gal Gadot came on screen and she talked about like her plan to set up John Hartley, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to stop right here for now.
Look, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the worst action movie ever. It's fine. I will watch a sequel to it because I have nothing better to do with my time, apparently. It's fine.
Ryan Reynolds was funny.
Ryan Reynolds is doing Ryan Reynolds. Like, and that's fine. I like Ryan Reynolds. Like, I think he has great comedic timing. But some people are like, it's the worst action movie ever. It's not. It's just really mediocre. It's just really mediocre. It does play to one thing that has been unfortunately very true, seemingly his whole career, is The Rock cannot create a franchise like worth a damn. He can't. He can go into other franchises and do well, but he can't create one of his own.
Was this supposed to be a franchise?
It will be. It will be. Spoiler alert for the end. It will be. Okay, like it will be. They will probably get at least one more out of this. At least.
Can I ask a question that I already know the answer to, but just so we have it on record? Are there any black women in this film past like the 30-40 minutes that I saw?
I don't think there's a black woman in the film, period.
Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted to ask.
Like, I'm trying to think, honestly. Maybe in the background. Like, no black woman talking to The Rock. You don't got time.
Except on Ballers.
Yeah, he did it one time.
In the final season.
Yeah, he was like, all right, let's go out with a bang.
They knew it was going off the air. Like, it wasn't canceled. They knew it was going off the air.
And he's like, let me throw these black chicks a bone.
Look, The Rock has recently, someone for some strange reason had a stroke and asked The Rock about being James Bond.
Yeah,
and,
that makes sense.
You know, he referenced his grandfather who was in a Bond movie. He played a goon basically, and he got into like a little quick scuffle with Sean Connery.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was cool for like a wrestling fan, like to see Peter Maivia like fighting Sean Connery. Like, okay, and Sean Connery made short work of him. But someone asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, my granddad, he was in it, and you know, he played a villain. I couldn't be a villain. Gotta be Bond. Gotta be James Bond. Dwayne Johnson has to be James Bond to be in a James Bond movie. He has
the British accent and everything.
The movie has to do him a favor by letting him be James Bond so that he'll be in.
I want to hear Dwayne's British accent.
Like this is the like I like The Rock. This is the obnoxious shit that I don't like about The Rock. Like, nigga, shut up. Like,
yo, you're way too big to be James Bond.
That's another thing. Yo, The Rock is so big in Red Notice show. I was like, come on.
He's got to trim down
a little bit.
Yeah, he got to trim down. Like, he's also playing a dangerous game. He's like he's getting too big. Like from a health perspective, he's getting too big.
Did y'all know that Red Notice had the biggest opening day in Netflix film history?
Sure. He's got 3 powerhouse actors. I mean, I believe that. It's not that great. If I saw that movie in theaters, what's that?
With an outstanding 92% audience score.
The audiences are useless. Yo, 92%.
I mean, are you surprised though? Like, are you surprised?
No.
Like, it's the Netflix audience, yo. Like,
yeah, they watch a lot of garbage.
Like, Netflix audiences will literally watch whatever. Right? I haven't seen the movie yet. We're gonna watch it this weekend, and then we're gonna wash our brains out with a good movie that we'll be doing on Black Cinema. But I can't imagine this movie is like bad, and I can't imagine it's good. Like, I'm not even looking for like good. I'm just looking for fun.
Yeah,
like, I don't go to a Netflix movie looking for high art. I go in looking for 6 Underground. Like, dumb fun.
Yeah, I wish it was as good as 6 Underground. 6 Underground was a blast. Like, it was a blast. You know what? Honestly, when I finished watching Red Notice, the thing that I actually like kind of kept going like in circles in my brain was this movie could have used some Bayhem. Like, it could have. Like, just some real balls to the wall action sequences, which it doesn't have. Like, it's got some action sequences, but not anything like super crazy, like that you would want.
How was Gal Gadot?
She's fine. I mean, the vast majority of the movie focuses on Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne. So she's in it, but she's more like how Carmen Sandiego was on her own show, right? She just pops up and it's just like, hey, everybody. Hey. And then she leaves. It's like, I'm very attractive. And then I got to go.
Okay. I like Gal Gadot. She's fine. I was going to say she's a good actress, but
she's fine. She's fine. Like, she's better in this, like, acting wise than she is in Wonder Woman.
I mean,
she seems more at home with this sort of material.
I believe that.
Yeah. Like, it's just not, and that's not like trying to shit on her. It really isn't. It's like material, right? Like, it's just kind of like, it's not like tell them who you are. Like, she's not, it's one of the worst line readings of all time.
I was waiting for it. Remember, Kal-El, no.
Like, it was just so bad. It's just so bad. That reading of that line is horrible. It's right up there with like, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. Like, it's fucking awful.
It's right up there with I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, George Lucas can't write for shit. Like, not dialogue. But it's she's fine. Like the material that she's working with is pretty light, and it like I wouldn't even be surprised if some of it was just like ad-libbed. I really wouldn't. Like it just didn't.
It looks like that kind of movie. The part I did like before I paused it was prison part where Ryan was like, he's not a cop, guys.
Yeah, that scene was funny.
He's not a cop. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds to me is the best part of it. Of the three of them, he's the best. Like I enjoyed just watching that guy on screen. He's just funny.
He was in Luke and Hobbs and Shaw as well.
Oh yeah, he was. That's right. He was. Yeah. So Red Notice, it's fine. It's fine.
I'll probably finish it tonight.
Yeah. I feel like you won't regret it. Like, no. But I bet you like. Yeah, I don't think you'll regret it. That's all I'll say. Like it's fine. I didn't feel like I wasted my time.
It seems like the perfect movie that you put on when you're working from home and you want something on, but you don't want to pay attention to it that much because you're focused on other things. Yep, that's exactly what that's exactly when I had it on. When I was working on literally two other things. So this is not on the docket, but can I just say what I thought about Eternals real quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I liked it. Even though someone on this show said I wouldn't like it.
And that same person said that you would say that you would like it, even if you didn't like it. So who's right?
I did like it. I don't think I would rush out to see it if you haven't seen it already.
So you didn't like it?
I did like it. Shut up.
Wow, such violence.
Yeah, I think you guys told me that if this movie is like if Justice League were smart, and I was like, oh, so this is what they meant. It's a shame that we get these characters, so many of them that are written kind of well, and it's better than Justice League. Yeah, I think I'll wait till streaming to watch it again. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to the theater unnecessarily anyway.
What's something I did? One thing I've realized was that there's no shirtless scene. Like not one.
Yeah, that's kind of well, at least not for Kamal Nanjiani. There's a sex scene in it. It's just
there's a sex scene.
They're making the beast with two backs, so you can't really appreciate anything that anybody's got going on. But like, yeah, it's kind of. I mean, look, I'm not mad, right? That there's no shirtless scene. I would take advantage of the free training that Marvel would give me, but at the same time, like, I work my ass off, man. Like, I want to fucking show the world
off my abs.
Yeah, no. If I'm Kumail Nanjiani, I'm walking around no shirt for like 25 minutes in this movie.
Also, I'm gonna have a whole scene shirtless.
Yeah.
Also, there's a gay couple of gay men of color who kiss on screen.
Who had an adopted son,
and they have a little black son. Yeah, Hoteps. I hope you gouge your eyes out.
Oh, dude, they already weren't seeing this movie when they were like gay, and then what? A black? Nope, no. I'm gonna go watch a new Dave Chappelle instead. Like, nah.
Also, for Angelina Jolie to be in this movie, it makes me wonder if she's going to be in a sequel, which I would be really surprised because I don't think she's done a sequel since like Tomb Raider.
I just enjoy seeing her back in movies. Like I miss Angelina Jolie, man. I do.
Yeah,
I wish she didn't stay away so long.
I'll watch it when it comes to streaming. Usually, I would go see movies like 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But
yeah, if you love them.
But that's a long time to spend in a movie theater.
Okay,
even when you had the AMC.
Endgame? How many times did you see Endgame?
That was in the before time.
Okay,
it was the before times. You didn't have to wear a mask.
Okay.
In fairness.
Yeah, but I saw I think I saw Endgame like 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times?
At
3 hours a piece? Jesus Christ. No.
I made it a mission to see that multiple times. I love that movie so much.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. Also, I had the one main question I had about that movie was like, so what about Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Like, does he connect to this somehow? Or are we just supposed to not think about that?
Oh, he was an Eternal. He was.
Isn't he a Celestial?
Or, excuse me,
Is that
a Celestial.
the same thing?
Yeah. No. I'm sorry, Celestial. He's the same. He's the same as like Arishem was, basically.
Okay.
So
cool. I guess. All right. Whatever. Yeah, it was cool.
He's dead now. All right, let's get into it. Micah, take it away.
A Scorpion King reboot is this article. The way this article starts, yo.
Have you read this?
They made like 6 of them things.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they made 6 or 7 of them. Calling all fans of the Scorpion King. Are you there? Do you exist? And if so, are you ready to see a reboot? God damn, Joshua Meyer.
Yeah, it gets worse.
It's been 20 years since Dwayne Johnson and the CG facsimile of him clawed up and crab walked or scorpion walked his way onto screen. And the Scorpion King, as the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns, that was in 2001. But the following year, the Scorpion King headlined his own film, which gave Johnson his first lead role and served as a launch pad for the action movie star. Since then, there have been no less than 4 direct-to-video sequels, including The Scorpion King 2, Rise of a Warrior, Scorpion King 3, Battle for Redemption, The Scorpion King 4, Quest for Power, and most recently, 2018 sequel, The Scorpion King Book of Souls, which ditched the series numbering and I say lost their nerve. God damn. Why not take it to double digits and start giving the sequels Roman numerals like Jason X? Jesus Christ.
Just to let y'all know, Micah's not making this up. The author of the article wrote this.
Yeah, someone's got to be watching these movies. If the prospect of a Scorpion King reboot excites you, then you'll be happy to know there's one in development at Universal, and it's set in the modern day. Producer Hiram Garcia, all right, this whole family is just getting on my nerves, who recently updated us on Johnson's long gestating John Henry project. What?
Yep.
All right.
Did that ever come out?
Has also now provided us a status update on the Scorpion King reboot. Quote, Universal had come to us and really wanted to figure out how we can open up that world again. So we've been having a lot of fun figuring out how we want to crack that. We've been having a lot of fun how to figure out how to bilk this fucking movie studio for all the money in the world. Yeah,
that's all I read.
We're looking to bring the Scorpion King world back to life, and it's such a special property for me. It was my very first film I ever worked on. It's when I realized I wanted to be a producer. It was Dwayne Johnson's first starring role. There's a lot of love for that franchise, and if we could figure out how to bring it back, that will make us a lot of money. That would be very rewarding for us. Okay. Look, I'm not mad at them getting money. I'm just annoyed at them. Like I'm just tired of seeing them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
what do you have against his family,
the author
Micah?
of this article said. I'm jealous. That's it. I'm jealous.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They're making a lot of money putting out a mediocre product. And they are the mediocre? Definition. They are the definition of a corporate machine. And maybe I'm very old fashioned, but I do believe that film is a form of art and not just a money making opportunity. And these people are only making it a money making opportunity. And look, I'm not saying that that's wrong, right? Guess what? I love all these Marvel movies. I actually loved Eternals. But it's just, they make these movies. They make these movies to make money. But at least, it feels like they want to please the masses or say something in their work. Nothing is being said from Red Notice. Nothing is being said in the Scorpion King, the Quest for Peace, or whatever. Nothing is being said. So what you're saying is you're not going to watch this? You don't know that. Nothing is being said in Skyscraper.
You're not going to.
Okay, hold on. Whoa. Excuse me. I am gonna defend one of those movies. Skyscraper is a movie that is talking about something. And what it's talking about is, dear Chinese market, can you please watch our movie so I can make as much money as humanly possible? Because I could not possibly sell this piece of shit movie in the United States.
What is Skyscraper?
That's The Rock. That's Rock playing Die Hard with one leg.
The Rock plays. Hold on. You're not gonna believe it, yo. You're not gonna believe it. Like, I have to.
Former FBI.
He plays like an ADT guy, right? Like
he's not. He doesn't work for ADT.
He's installing security systems in like high-rise buildings, right?
Okay.
But he's also like a former Navy SEAL or some shit.
Of course. Okay.
You have to explain, because you have to explain why this gigantic dude is hawking like alarm systems or some shit, right? He plays Will Sawyer, a former U.S. Marine, FBI hostage rescue team leader, and amputee who now assesses security for skyscrapers. Like, it's so ridiculous, yo.
No, that movie was good.
That movie was so funny. That movie was hilarious.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Was this a movie that The Rock was just so honored to make because he's been dreaming of making a movie just like this his entire career?
Yeah, he wanted to make Die Hard. That's what this is. It's a bad version of Die Hard.
It's the Towering Inferno meets Die Hard. Yeah. And it's hilarious. I forgot my point, but these niggas are getting on my nerves. Like, go ahead and make your money. I wish you could just have a little bit more soul in your projects.
Wow, what a hater. Yeah, I can't wait to see Scorpion King the reboot, which apparently is going to be in modern day. I believe the article said. Excuse me? I'm sorry, what? Like, it's going to be in modern day? Modern day? Why? Why? That's fucking insane. I love the feature. I love that feature. It's so much fun. I don't understand that. Like, what is going to be in this movie? What is this movie about? Like, a guy who used to be like the great grandson of the Scorpion King, like, he live in Detroit now? Like, what are we talking about?
Wasn't in The Mummy too? Like, they like the little boy had like the little thing attached to his arm, and they had to go to the Scorpion King temple to get it out.
I think that was
whatever the fuck.
Mummy 3, I think it was. Yeah.
No, that was the second one, because the third one, the third one had Jet Li, right? In it. Yeah.
Oh, I tapped out. I did not see. I refuse.
Yeah.
No, I only saw
so did Rachel Weisz, because she didn't.
She didn't do that one either.
Back. No.
I will watch another Mummy movie, by the way, if Brendan Fraser comes back. Like, not
Tom Cruise.
No, that was bad. That movie did not know what it wanted to be. It was horrible. Just fucking dumb. All right, so yeah, there you go. Scorpion King reboot for all you Scorpion King fans. Now, Micah, do the next story and don't use the word backhand. I dare you.
Is that who this dude is?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it is him. Original cat.
Show?
No,
my wife does. My wife watches.
No, I love this show. Oh, she does? Okay.
Yeah, she enjoys this show. Yeah.
I love this show too.
She's a big Rockman Dunbar fan.
Yeah, apparently, original 911 cast member Rockman Dunbar is leaving the hit Fox drama after more than 4 seasons. His character Michael Grant was abruptly written off Monday night's episode, leaving fans to wonder what the hell happened. Sources say that Dunbar's departure stems from the new COVID protocols on the show. And he wanted exemption for religious reasons and medical reasons, and he was denied. He is quoted as saying, I applied for religious and medical accommodations pursuant to the law and unfortunately was denied by my employer. My sincerely held beliefs and private medical history are very intimate and personal aspects of my life that I do not wish to publicly discuss and have no desire to start now. I have been an actor in this business for 30 years. My greatest roles are as a husband and father of 4 small children. As a man that walks in faith, I look forward to what the future holds. I am also a coward who is afraid of a needle. I've enjoyed the last 5 seasons of this wonderful cast and crew and will cherish the time I have been blessed to spend with them in this series and with everyone involved. Nothing but the best, even though they're going to die because they got a needle. Look, that's fine. I hope they wrote him off by saying he died of COVID. I hope they do that. I hope that's what they did.
That's not what they did, Micah. That's not what they did.
In
fact, I remember seeing the preview for this episode. No, they wrote him off by sending him to Haiti to go propose to his boyfriend. And they gave him a montage and they left it open just in case. He decides to get vaccinated. Now, Jay, I know you hate religion. So can you
go on? Yes.
So tell us why this man is wrong for wanting to stick by his religious beliefs.
Well, I would argue that if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. You just can't work it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. And that's fine, actually.
There's nothing in the Bible that says you got to be on the 9/11 show. Like, nothing says that. It's fine. I'm not mad. Look, I'm not mad at that guy.
Don't call it the 9/11 show. What the
fuck?
fuck?
911. It's called 911.
9/11. No, look, if he doesn't want to be on September 11th, like, it's fine. I don't care. Like, I'm not mad at the guy. Like, it sucks because I think that guy's like he's like a decent actor, and I hate to see people, losing.
I like him on the
work.
show. His character was married to Angela Bassett's character for like the first season,
and then he came out.
I thought you said his character was gay.
Yeah, his character came out as gay in the show.
Oh,
yeah, I'm. You're someone who doesn't want to get vaccinated. Okay, and you're willing to give up your job? Cool. It's better than, saying things like, have you been immunized, and then giving press conferences without a mask, and then wanted to continue to do your job, and then blame cancel culture for not getting vaccinated and calling you out on your lies. So,
yeah, that's fine. Look, again,
they didn't make the character gay when they wrote him off, did they?
No, he's been gay since like the first season.
All right.
That would be unacceptable.
That would be real fucked up.
Yeah.
He gay now. He gotta go. Like, that's bad writing. And also,
he was really good on that show too.
He's not a bad actor. He's not a bad actor. But like, you can't just assume at this point that you're going to be able to keep this job if you're not willing to get vaccinated. You're putting too many people in danger.
Yep.
Including yourself, by the way. So, look, maybe one of the things that I've expressed on Look Forward, and I think I'll say it here too. What is the end game for people who are not vaccinated? Like, people are like, well, I'll just keep my distance, I'll wear a mask, but I'm not getting vaccinated. At some point, we're all going to stop wearing masks. And we're all going to stop social distancing. Like, that's all going to wane at some point. We're going to go back to normal. But you still won't be vaccinated. And people can still carry it.
Jade, they're still doing their research. And they're going to wait until 2022, 2023 to see how the vaccine really works. Because they need another 2 years to see. Or whatever the fuck.
But like,
I don't know what their end game is. Except
I feel like people don't think about that. Like, at a certain point, you are going to be vulnerable, and everyone else around you could be carrying it, and they'll be fine for the most part, and you won't be. Like, that's a very weird, dangerous game to play. But look, when everybody goes back to where normal, we're gonna have a huge spike of people getting sick and dying because of that very reason.
Well, I mean, but also not just death, but people who get long COVID and they just feel that shit forever, whatever the consequences of long COVID is. So
right. So look, this guy don't
All
want to
right.
get vaccinated. Whatever, you can't work here.
Yep.
Kick rocks, nigga. Bye.
Stop using religion as an excuse.
Yeah, there's nothing in the Bible that says you can't be vaccinated. That's stupid.
Yep.
Next. I'd like you to read the title as I wrote it, please.
Oh, God.
Hey, I'm not talking to you, TR. Okay, I just want everybody to know I'm not talking to TR when I say this. Hey, sugar tits. I'm directing Lethal Weapon 5.
I can't believe you would say something like that. Jesus Christ.
Mel Gibson, proof that cancel culture doesn't really exist, especially if you're famous, is set to direct Lethal Weapon 5. Mel Gibson seen here looking, I mean, like, as the most demented version of Mel Gibson I've ever seen. Like, he looks like what I would imagine the devil looks like.
Yeah, he does.
It
That's
just
a lot of drinking.
Yeah, man. He's stepping behind the camera once again to direct the latest and likely final installment of the Lethal Weapon franchise. The project was put in limbo when director Richard Donner, who helmed all the Lethal Weapon movies since their inception, died in July at 91. He was working on a fifth installment. Yeah, I don't. No. Okay, I don't really. Even if it wasn't Mel Gibson, like I don't think I would want to see another Lethal Weapon. Unless it's the Always Sunny version of Lethal Weapon.
Danny Glover's still alive, yes.
I know that. But, like, is Danny Glover going to be in it? He can't say I'm too old for this shit. Like, it's obvious. Like, it's been obvious for 20 years.
Is there still an audience for Lethal Weapon?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Who?
Sure. I don't know about all. Yeah, that's you. That's all you, buddy.
I love the Lethal Weapon movies. Like, they're great. They're fun.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know that I'm seeing a Mel Gibson directed Lethal Weapon movie. Also, I mentioned this on Look Forward this week. Can Mel Gibson do a movie that's not ultra violent? Because the Lethal Weapon movies aren't ultra violence like he likes to do.
No, these will be. These will be. Okay, what if he doesn't direct it but stars in it? You still watching it?
Look, I got to tell you,
can you separate the art from the artist?
I think Mel Gibson is an asshole. 100%. I don't know that his words at the time are enough to keep me from watching. Like, am I gonna watch this fucking John Wick show that he's in? Probably. If I'm being honest, probably would.
But is he directing or producing any part of that show?
No, but he's starring in it. Yeah.
In the Continental Show?
Yep. He's a lead.
He's a lead?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So all you motherfuckers judging me, you go ahead and put your write your name down right now in the hypocrisy book because you're gonna watch that shit.
I'm gonna see what y'all say about it first because I trust your opinions.
Yeah. See, millennials, cowards. I'm willing to throw it on the line and get in trouble. It's fine. No, I probably will watch it. Look, if it doesn't look good, then I'm not gonna watch it. Like if it's not good,
I didn't realize he was a lead.
Yeah, he's a lead.
Oh wow, that's.
But people are bullshitting themselves if they're going to pretend like they're not going to watch it. Look, here's the thing.
We'll know
Mel
when the ratings
Gibson
come out and if it gets renewed right off the bat.
Yeah. Look, if people say, hey, man, this fucking shit sucks, and I watch it and I'm like, this isn't good, then it's not good. But look, here's the thing. Mel Gibson is an asshole. And, like, we have weirdly forgiven people for physical violence in Hollywood and done more horrendous things than he's done. So I'm interested. Like, yeah, he said some bigoted shit. No kidding. Like, it's not an excuse or anything like that. But I'm always interested that, like, why was he the line that, like, stuck? Like, it really did stick. People were just like, no, fuck that guy, and it right. legitimately stuck until now. Like, even Robert Downey Jr. tried to keep pulling Mel Gibson like back into Hollywood, and people were like, look, Iron Man, we fuck with you. Don't do that.
You know, it's funny
kinda
because I can't recall Mel Gibson ever feeling truly remorseful or doing anything to show remorse for how he's acted. He's just been like, y'all get over it.
Yeah, he was waiting y'all out. I mean, kinda. I mean, but that's the thing.
It's taken years, but
it's been like,
he's back.
It's been like 20 years, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like, I'm just saying, are people really, like, for real, like, no bullshit. Are people really still pissed off at Mel Gibson? Are they really, or are they just sticking to their guns? That's just
the latter. I don't know anyone who's like, I don't know anyone who looks at Mel Gibson and gets enraged about it.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Look, there's people who do things that I don't agree with, that I'm not going to watch their shit. But what I'm saying is, are people like, when people talk about Mel Gibson, you're like, what he said was really unacceptable? Or you're just like, this was a boycott that we started and we're just sticking with that, right? Because there are things like you could bring up, like, if somebody said Ray Rice is going to be back on the Ravens tomorrow, some people would be like, that's fine. And other people would be like, no, seriously, fuck that guy for what he did. That's like really being passionate about being upset what he did. And some people are just going to be like, like they just don't have a feeling. And I feel like most people don't really give a fuck about Mel Gibson anymore. They just don't.
No.
So in that scenario, you would still watch Ray Rice play?
No, because I feel very passionate about what he did. Like it's the same thing where people get upset in a weird way that people are still passionate about hating what's his face, the fucking football player, like, hurt all the dogs. Michael Vick. Like, some people feel really passionate about that, and other people are just like, I don't really give a fuck.
You have people who are still passionate about hating Justin Timberlake for what he did to Janet Jackson 20 years ago.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between holding the line because we all said that we were going to hold the line and still actually giving a shit about it.
Yeah,
look,
I mean,
I think I was pissed off at Michael Vick. I'm not still mad at Michael Vick. Okay,
I'm not mad at Michael Vick because
but Michael Vick actually did time.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But some people still are. They're like, fuck that guy forever, and they really do feel passionate about that. That's on them. But I'm just saying, I don't think a lot of people really give a fuck about Mel Gibson, yo. Also, I don't think they do. Like, they really don't.
Low key, and
maybe Jewish people do. Understandable.
Look,
right? Pack of N-words,
and this is no disrespect to people who still hate Michael Vick, but like, it's a little weird to hold on this kind of like impassioned rage for somebody you don't know.
Yeah,
and like did time. I don't think most people, I think when it comes down to it, no, I don't think most people would truly care. Which is part of the reason why I asked, like, if there's an audience for this Lethal Weapon movie, because I don't know people who would actually care about Mel Gibson enough to want this or to even care about this movie.
I think they're too old.
I think if you say a Lethal Weapon movie is coming out, like a certain age range, it will be like, the nostalgia button will click.
Yeah,
click on, and then people are like, "All right, like,
yeah, like our dads."
I've never been a huge Lethal Weapon person. I like Lethal Weapon, but I'm not like, man, Lethal Weapon 4 with Chris Rock is amazing, right? Like, no, that's not me, right? But so I wouldn't necessarily be amped to watch this. I didn't watch that TV show. Remember that? Oh. So I'm not a fan of the franchise per se.
No.
So I don't know.
Lethal Weapon TV show. Jesus.
Yes, you fucking do. You go out in public and it's a fucking embarrassment to me. You look like a fucking bitch in heat. And if you get raped by a pack of niggers, it'll be your fault.
Yo, what did Danny Glover think when he heard that? Yo, it's like,
because you provoked it. You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off in tight outfits and tight pants. You can see your pussy from behind. And that
Jesus.
And that green thing today was enough. That's provocative, okay? I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't like it. I don't want that woman. I don't want you. I don't believe you anymore. I don't trust you. I don't love you. I don't want you, okay?
cost me my Laker tickets. Like, yeah, no,
yo,
he was.
It's just, I mean, it's just so wild because I remember when that dropped and just.
Clip was fucking.
This is why cancel culture only impacts a certain type of person, but not rich white dudes like him. Because I don't ever remember hearing this nigga say he was sorry for any of the things that he said. Like, truly sorry. So.
He clearly was an alcoholic at the time. I don't know if he still drinks. Probably. Like, look at his face.
He looked like he do.
Yeah, no,
in this photo.
He throwing a couple of them back. But look, I'm not gonna lie,
fucking
man.
Jews. The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world.
Yeah, dude, he's a bigot. He's a bigot. Yo, he is. I'm just saying.
So yeah, so I mean, so you're gonna
take it up
you're gonna
the
watch that
ass.
Continental show?
This is only for taking a shit. Yeah, he don't like gay people either.
Yeah, and look, and you know why he attributes all of his views, Micah? You should be a huge fan. He's a religious guy. He's a deeply, deeply religious guy. He's a Christian.
Threaten you. I'll put your fucking rose. I'll put you in a fucking rose garden, you cunt. You understand that? Because I'm capable of it. Do you understand that?
All I'm saying is the Continental probably is going to be pretty good.
Yo,
he's a lunatic.
Well,
he's a lunatic.
This is another regarding the Continental.
Good luck for supporting him, Jay, in that show.
I'm just telling you. Look. The number one thing you will always know about me is I am never going to bullshit you. A lot of people online are full of shit. They're full of shit. I would never. I'll watch it to see how terrible it is.
The Continental automatically renewed for season 2. Like,
who watched it, my nigga?
Highest ratings ever.
Right? Who watched
somebody
it?
Watching?
Yo,
somebody lying.
You know how I know? Here's how I know people are full of shit. Hacksaw Ridge was nominated for Oscars. That was a Mel Gibson directed movie. Nobody saw it? We gonna pretend that's true? Apocalypto, nobody saw that shit? Okay. All right.
But do movies that get nominated, are they technically box office?
All right, so you want me to look up how much Hacksaw Ridge made? I guarantee you it wasn't $5.
I don't know what that's about. So
it's a military movie where he showed people getting their faces blown off because he's a lunatic.
That's probably why I don't know what it is. It's a military movie, and I'm over those kinds of films.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, people watch that shit. Like, people are full of shit that pretend like, oh, I would never watch. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. They would watch it. Hacksaw Ridge made $170 million worldwide. Somebody watched it? Somebody did?
Maybe they're all bigots too. Every single person.
Yeah, maybe. And some people were just like, yo, I'm trying to see that shit. Shit look dope. Apocalypto.
What do you think you're looking at? What do you think you're looking at, sugar tits? That shit is funny, yo.
That's what I said on Look Forward, yo. Come on. Look, it's offensive. It's shit is ignorant as fuck. But that's a funny line, yo. That's a funny line. It is. It's a funny line. It's so absurd. Like I said to Brad, if you were watching Reno 911 and they had a skit where somebody said to a female cop, hey, sugar tits, you'd laugh. It's funny. It's a funny line. It's funny. It's not okay.
Nope, I wouldn't laugh.
I would. Shit's hilarious. Passion of the Christ. Nobody watched that one either, huh? $600 million. Yeah, nobody watched it.
Wasn't that before the whole anti-Semitism thing, though?
They already knew Mel Gibson was an asshole. I think it was. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he gonna be all right. He gonna be just fine.
Oh yeah, him. I'm pretty sure him and Jim Caviezel are good friends. Jim Caviezel,
Jim Caviezel is like a crazy QAnon guy now.
Yeah, he's insane.
Nuts. Yeah. James Caviezel thought he was Jesus. I was like, okay, buddy. No, you were just in a snuff film. That's all that happened. So yeah, I think people are full of shit. People will watch it. Vin Diesel asked. Johnny is an asshole in our Discord, by the way. Vin Diesel asked The Rock to return to the Fast franchise. He made a public plea on Instagram, I believe.
Yep.
He says, my little brother Dwayne, the time has come. The world awaits.
Brother.
Vin being a dick, yo.
Vin Diesel is like 51. He's older than The Rock.
The Rock is The Rock is a huge guy compared to Vin Diesel, yo. He is.
Yeah, come
Can
on,
you read this? Like, can you read this in your Vin Diesel voice?
I don't do a Vin Diesel voice. Maybe Micah
No,
does.
it's come.
Where's
My little brother. Yo,
I think you got it, bro. I think you got it. No, you gotta finish that. You gotta finish that.
Yo, that image. Look at the image below. Yo, why? Yo, it's photoshopped to make it look like Vin Diesel and The Rock are the same height. They're not even looking each other in the eye. Like that image is ridiculous.
Yo, that image makes it look like Vin Diesel is looking at The Rock's lips. Yo,
it doesn't. Yes, it doesn't make any sense. All right, my little brother Dwayne. I can't do the voice. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. That's not true.
No, that's not true.
There's not a holiday goes by that they don't send well wishes, but the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago, and I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast and the Furious in the finale that is 10. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by no other. Hope that you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny. Fulfill your destiny. Nigga, it's a movie about cars.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, yo. I don't know what it is about big dudes and like their need to try and be loquacious.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
And have like a vast vocabulary. Like you don't have to have a jailhouse vocabulary to try and be smart.
Right.
Like I don't get it.
Or host a podcast called Expeditiously because it has
fucking T.I. That's dumbass.
Micah left because he couldn't take our high in vocabulary. No, this is great. I feel validated in my opinions about The Rock's incredible role in this franchise. This is the one franchise where I will absolutely say that The Rock definitely needs to be in, and the franchise is not better without him. John Cena did not do it for me.
I would argue
bring The Rock back.
I would argue that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when Fast 10 comes out and if The Rock is in it, I'm going to go into the theater and I'm going to be like, finally, The Rock has returned
to the franchise.
I will wear my Just Bring It shirt with the little Brahma bull.
Oh my god!
From when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. The fact that you still have it is ridiculous. So look,
get him to sign it.
Oh well, obviously he'll be there. My thing is like, I don't need him there. I don't like. I just want them to just make whatever the best movie is. It's fine. I don't really care. But I just hope that I hope it's decent. And Johnny in our fan group was like, this basically just read like the thing from Planet of the Apes strong together, which is fucked up.
Yo, I don't know what Johnny is, but I don't know if he should be saying.
No,
that.
I don't think Johnny. Johnny is all the races. So
everything.
I'm not quite sure. But apes strong together.
Like honestly, I read Vin Diesel Instagram post, and I'm just like, this is why you niggas got into a fight because you're both the same. You're both the same.
They're both the same.
This feels like something The Rock also would have written.
Yes.
You're both the same person, just on two different sides of the coin or whatever.
Yeah.
No, bring him back.
That's fine.
Back. I don't care what Tyrese has to say about it. Even though I heard he and Tyrese are cool. Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm for this. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a fight scene with John Cena or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, I like John Cena in this franchise. He was great. So I need more of him. I need him to fight The Rock.
I mean, was he great?
Yes. Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. He didn't do it for me. Especially since, he would have stayed evil had he not been betrayed, but
yeah. It was inevitable.
It's
inevitable.
Sure.
He will be drinking Coronas by the end of this franchise with the rest of the team. As he should.
Whatever.
As he should.
No, I mean, I disagree.
This movie franchise is about family. This is the ultimate family.
I feel like Luke Hobbs is more family than what's his name's character?
Disagree.
John Cena's character. What was his name? Obviously not Dom.
I don't remember.
Derek.
I honestly don't remember. He's just another one of the apes who are strong together.
See, that's another reason. We know who Luke Hobbs is. We can't remember what John Cena's character's name was.
That's fine. Don't worry. John will be back. It's John. Okay, so next up, Squid Game 2 is in the works. Are you cool with this, or did you feel like it should have just been kind of a one and done?
Look, if the creator has a story to tell, sure, let's do it. But that's why the ending was baffling, in my opinion. Like, why would you go back into it? Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my personality, right? Like, if I had all this extra stuff going on, like if I had a daughter that I need to, that I feel like I should spend time with, like the reason he kind of got into all this is because, like, it kind of undercuts the reason why he joined the game in the first place, right?
And then rejoined.
He elected to do this thing and then elected to do it again after he found out what it really was. Right. And instead of making it seem like he did it because he needs to provide for his daughter, it makes him seem like he did it for the money, which doesn't make him a noble person. Not that he necessarily has to be, right? But
he never was in the beginning.
Right. But at the same time, like, okay, well, the character didn't really grow. But maybe he did because he's like, yo, this is messed up. Like, this game that you're playing with people's lives is messed up.
Right.
And I'm going to white man this shit and be like I'm the only one that can stop it. Right.
Right.
I would have just rolled out.
But. Yeah, I think I would have ended after one. That being said, Squid Game is so good that I would be a liar if I said I'm not interested to see a second season, right? Like,
sure.
If I'd be interested to know if they go with completely new characters, right? Like, just completely, like, fuck it, like, don't even worry about that, like, in another part of the world or something. You know what I mean? Like, that would be kind of interesting. So who knows? I
think the logical step is, it's still set in Korea. Right, in South Korea or wherever.
Well, yeah, of course, actually, that makes sense.
And you have a new cast of people, but the main character, I forget his name off the top of my head, but the main character this time is going to be what the cop character was in the first season, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with
that. Armed with the knowledge that, like, this thing is messed. Like, he knows what this thing actually is.
Right.
So I think that would be interesting, but you need a brand new cast of characters. You need new games. I'm wondering if they will, pick games that are a little more universal.
Because they were very Korean games.
Yeah, I mean, not like red light, green light, and stuff like that. Everybody plays that, but like,
they were chocolate games.
Right, but nobody knew what the hell Squid Game was. Like, they tell you like multiple times the rules of actual Squid Game, and I still don't know what the rules are. Right?
No.
Like, so I'm wondering if they will. But my fear is that this turns into Saw, right? Like it loses all. Yeah, it loses all. Of the storytelling and the point of it for clever ways to kill people in funny and like slightly amusing situations. Like, I don't want it to be Saw. Like, if this dude has like this, the first season of Squid Game is saying a lot. It is talking about a lot, mainly like the class divide and the human psyche. Like, it's talking about a lot. And I hope it continues to do that, not just be like,
crazy.
Yeah. What clever way can we let's play smear the queer, but like smearing the queer means like smearing his blood all over the place. You know what I mean?
Like let's not do that.
Yeah. Smear the queer is the name of a game, guys. I'm not being
not trying to be an asshole.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's maybe that's what we called it back then. We weren't talking about like gunning after homosexuals or whatever.
Right,
you know what I mean?
It's not about that.
No.
Or was it, Micah? Or was it? I don't know. It probably has some weird origins in that, to be honest. Some homophobia. But that's not what it wasn't like, that's the gay kid, let's get him. Like, that's not what
right. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Right. Wink. No, I'm kidding. Because, like people who were born in like 1998 are like, that's unacceptable. Like, relax. It's a terrible name, I grant you, but
right.
The game was about.
Yeah. Like it's.
Okay, everybody calm down. All right, let's move on. Now, this is a super interesting topic. Variety has this article that I personally think is hand-wringing bullshit. So I'm interested to hear your perspective. It says, why Christopher Nolan's $100 million World War II drama Oppenheimer could be the last of its kind. This is written by Rebecca Rubin, who I don't know. I don't have any personal vendetta against. But she basically goes on to say movie studios are apprehensive about doing films like Oppenheimer that are not based on previously released novels or IP like toys and things like that. Like basically, it's not a comic book movie. It's not a Jenga movie or, Red Hot Cheetos or whatever other movies they're working on, which is actually mentioned in this article. But it's actually a unique story about this historical figure, and that these kind of budgets are not going to be given to these type of movies, and that's like a real shame. To me myself personally, that's bullshit, because these type of movies have never, like, it's getting $100 million because it's Christopher Nolan, not because it's about Oppenheimer, not because it's anything else, not because it's this non-IP and they're like really risking it. It's because it's Christopher Nolan, who does big budget like spectacles. Like this movie is not, I would bet all the money I have that this movie is not going to be about a guy messing around with beakers in a fucking lab. It's gonna be offset with World War II shit and everything else, and it's gonna be this big grand epic because that's what Christopher Nolan does. Even when he did, what was the film he did in Alaska? I can't remember. Even that has like these big sweeping shots, and it's like, Memento is probably the smallest film he's ever done. Like, he doesn't really do small films. That's why it's getting $100 million. So I think this is nonsense.
Yeah, so there are a couple of ways to approach this, right? Like, I understand I think this person has a point in that movie studios are apprehensive to try new things because movie studios see film not as art, but as a commodity, as something
Absolutely.
to make money off of. And I get it. I get it from a business sense, right?
Of course.
But that's the thing when business and art collide. Like, Christopher Nolan is in this unique position where he's proven to be good at business, at making money for the studios, which will grant those studios leeway to give him things to do what they want. I think to say that these movies won't exist anymore, this could be the last of its kind, I think that's hyperbolic. To say the least, right? Like, if any one of these comic book movie directors has the potential to make something like this. I don't know. This is a weird way to approach it because, like, these movies aren't going away. Like, these movies aren't going to go away. The problem is the movie-going public isn't really into it, and
have they ever been though? Have they truly ever been?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing that happens every winter when the Academy Award nominations are announced. Oh, I've never seen this. Because like the movie going public, like movies are an escape, man. Right. And the majority of people, they just want to be entertained. They want they don't necessarily want a history lesson. I think people should. I think movies are a great way to introduce people into different concepts and stuff like that, because it's at heart a form of entertainment. Like you can make a Western starring a bunch of people who truly existed but have nothing to do with their real life counterparts, but that would get you to go out and research who those people are, and maybe you learn something, right? Perfect example of what movies can be. I just don't see the idea of these movies are going to go away. Like, no, they're not. Like they're not going to be given this kind of budget, because it's a huge risk, man.
Well, and in fairness, that's what she's saying. But to me, it's given the budget not because of like anything other than the power of Christopher Nolan. You think any director could garner $100 million, like some indie director could garner $100 million for this movie? It's not because. It's because of she's making the point that the business side is basically ruining the art side of film. But you wouldn't get this if, like you said, Christopher Nolan wasn't proven on the business side. And ironically, her scree against comic book movies and everything else is fucking hilarious, because it's like, well, Nolan is making this ambitious film. Let me read you the 4 principal fucking actors in Oppenheimer, and you can tell me, what do you see as a commonality? Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Matt Damon, and Robert Downey Jr. Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. are both big actors who have been in what? Comic book movies. Matt Damon does what? Books or movies based on books, based on current IPs and all this other shit. And so does Emily Blunt. Right? They're all big mainstream movie fucking actors. They're not all auteur only fucking actors. They're not. People are going to go see this. Why? Why do you pick Robert Downey Jr. to be in this movie? What's the reason, dude? Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is a good actor. No bullshit. I like Robert Downey Jr. You pick him because he's fucking popular from fucking Iron Man. Because you get people to go see it, dude.
Nobody remembers Chaplin. Nobody
Thank you,
remembers
dude.
Chaplin.
He won a fucking Oscar for that. Come on, dude. Like you're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. And the whole time you're jerking him off like, oh, you're making this auteur movie. He's picking people because they're big fucking names. He didn't pick Tom Hardy to be in his movies for no reason. He didn't pick Leonardo DiCaprio to be in his movies for no reason. He didn't pick John David Washington for no reason. He picked them because they're popular in the mainstream shit that people watch.
Yeah, you can really knock a budget down if you don't hire like these AAA actors.
Thank you, dude. No offense to the 4 of them. No offense to the 4 of them, but you could 100% find 4 actors who are better than them who do only indie shit.
Yeah, you could make. Christopher Nolan at this point has the power to make stars. He's a star maker. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You put him. You get put in a movie starring Christopher Nolan. You're going to be a success. You're going to be a hit, even if the movie is not exactly like the best thing in the world, right? Like,
right.
You're gonna. He has star. He has king making ability,
right? What do people think that Tenet was? He saw the potential in John David Washington as he's on his rise. He put his ass in Tenet, and now he's through the fucking roof, right? So it's a fact, right? It's a fact. Like, it's hilarious that people are pretending, people are sitting here pretending like Christopher Nolan doesn't realize this. Oh, Christopher Nolan, he's just a struggling artist trying to make it. Christopher Nolan's like, yo, Robert Downey Jr. is mad popular. Put him in my movie. You couldn't find anybody else? You couldn't find anybody. Really? You couldn't? Come on, yo. Knock it off. Who were the 2 stars? Who were the 2 male stars of Tenet? John David Washington in fucking Batman. Weird. Weird, guys. Super weird that he'd pick them. I wonder why. He's not an idiot. He understands there's a business side and there's an art side. And you can respect his view from the art side, and I absolutely do. I think Christopher Nolan's a great director. But you can't just pretend like the business side for him isn't an absolute front of mind aspect of when he makes films. That's not true. Like, you cannot pretend that's not true. It's nonsense. So this article, to me, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, how will he ever make that $100 million budget? Because he's a fucking massive, he makes massive movies. That's why. This isn't Oppenheimer by Michael Bay. What are you talking about?
Right. Producer Peter Newman, head of NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, is quoted as saying, Nolan is a unique talent with a very loyal fan base. If you were to say someone else doing a period piece about Oppenheimer, I would say it would be difficult to get made. Because Nolan is right, because he's a proven commodity, and he's a proven commodity,
and that's exactly the right word, by the way, a proven commodity. Like, yes,
right,
exactly right.
Like these movie studios don't care about art, guys. Like,
they don't.
I know we do. Like, we care about art in its various like forms because we want to be entertained, and because we ain't making no money off of it. But like these movie studios don't really. These movie studios don't. They want return on investment. And the only reason, like that quote said, that this is getting made is because Nolan, one, has a proven fan base that is now an argument can be made that maybe Christopher Nolan is making original movies, and that those movies,
except for the Batman trilogy. But go ahead. I mean, like, it's ironic.
The thing that arguably put him on the map, right?
100%. No, that's what's so fucking crazy. Like, he only does art movies. He did three Batman movies, not one, three. Come on, man. Like, come on.
So yeah, like it's weird, man. Like, I get it, right? Like, these things, these comic book movies based on existing IP are just like they're pumping them out, and the fact that all of them aren't, the fact that maybe half of them on a good day, half of them are good, is something that is kind of keeping the business afloat, and like,
it absolutely is,
and like hardcore movie people can't, like, they don't like that, but at the same time, like, you need it. You need the movie. You need the summer movies to make the winter movies, guys.
Yeah,
that like
it's like
weird. It's weird.
So one last quote I'd like to read, and then I'd like to point out something that's hilarious. Quote: she says, "These days, it's rare for traditional studios to pump 9 figures into a film that isn't inspired by popular toys, novels, or comic books." Now, I assume that she means popular toys, popular novels, or popular comic books, right? Or you could just read it as popular toys, novels, or comic books. It's weird because Oppenheimer is based on a book called American Prometheus, The Triumph and Tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer. It's also based on a book. Like, it's not just an original story. It's also based on a book. Did you do any research before you wrote this article? Like, did you look at who is in Oppenheimer? Did you look at who Christopher Nolan, how he got famous, not just in your art circles, but to everyone, why he's a household name? And like you said, it's because of Batman. It's not because of Memento, which I saw when it came out, and I was like, this guy is amazing. Like, I thought it was great then. And then it was like, he's doing Batman. I'm like, he's doing Batman? For real? Okay, I got to see this shit. Like, but 99% of people were like, oh shit, this Batman movie is awesome. Who directed this? Oh, Christopher Nolan. Wow. And then he became a household name. I'm just saying, like, I get it. We want to have this conversation about, like, the art versus the business, and the art is dying because, comic book movies and all this other shit. But you're putting these people in this movie because you're using, like you said, you're using the summer months to then justify the creation of the winter month movies, and then somehow back channeling and shitting on the summer month movies. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. They all have a place.
It's just weird. It's
they all have a place.
They all have a place. It's a weird argument to make, especially because we know this. We know this. That's why they call them blockbusters, man. Like, this is why people. And
it's not new. It's not new. Westerns were the comic book movies of their day. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is in Iron Man. Oh, how many more of these movies are they going to make? Let me ask you a question. How many movies did John Wayne star in that were Westerns? You want to count? You want to take a count? What about Clint Eastwood? How about like where he's just grimacing as a cop? How many of those? Hey, guess what? Gangster movies were the fucking movies of their time. They were the comic movies of their time. How many Martin Scorsese gangster movies is it going to make? No one complains about that because you enjoy them. Because that's what you liked when you were 20 or 30 years old. So it was okay. Like, come on, man. The fuck over yourself. It's nonsense.
Look, part of it is, no, I won't even say lack of imagination, because these things because quite frankly, making a movie about flaming hot Cheetos requires a lot of fucking imagination.
It does. Look, respect to them. Like, if you can pull this shit off, that's amazing. But look, the founder worked.
Right. So I lost my train of thought, because that's what happens when you get old. But God damn it, I'm fucking old. But
no, it's fine. Look, flaming hot Cheetos, very good. Very good. That's what Michael was going to say. Very good.
No. No.
He doesn't like spice.
No, I don't like anything. I'm bland, as Leonardo would say. I'm bland because I don't appreciate open faced Doritos with meat in them. Get out of here. Get out of here with your meat Dorito.
I mean, they do sell those at Taco Bell. It's actually for real.
Okay. I mean, you're proving my point.
No, it's because Taco Bell is for stoners. Like, it is. That's why it's open so late. Like, knock it off. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Disney Plus Day. I thought this turned out to be pretty good. Some really cool stuff was shown off. So we're going to go down the list. One thing I want to say before we get to this, which is just hilarious. At the same time that this came out, on the same day, the folks over at Amazon Prime released another like Vought News thing. Did you see this? If you don't know what Vought is, it's the company in the show The Boys. And they were like, Vought Plus, check out Vought Plus. It's got all the cool, all the cool shows and movies and all this other stuff from like all the heroes in the Vought universe, which was hilarious. And they're like, it's the best thing ever. And it's like this massive conglomerate taking over the world. And they released it on the same day as the Disney Day thing, which is just brilliant. Like they are nailing this show in every aspect, even when the show is not like currently on, which is so good. All right, so there was a couple of behind the scenes bits of footage and concept art that was released for Obi-Wan Kenobi, that series. Look, man, specifically concept art of Obi-Wan facing off against Darth Vader, which is very fucking cool. I feel like this series, in its concept, people were like, why? And I believe I was one of those people. I can't imagine that I wasn't. But then the idea when they were like, we're going to bring Christian Haydenson back and actually have him as Vader, I was like, okay, that is incredibly interesting to see what they're going to do. And to know that they're actually going to fucking square off is kind of dope.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Like we'll get like more of a fair fight, I guess. Where we see this man beat up a handicapped person.
Right, like a geriatric. I mean, again, like say what you want about the Star Wars series, and I have plenty of things to say about it that I, as far as like criticism. These series are doing such a good job in filling in and showing you the stuff that people have like been really wanting to see. Like make me give a fuck really about Boba Fett, right? Like that's what we're getting. Like make me really care about what happens to Obi-Wan in that time between the last time we see him in episode 3 to then when we see him in episode 4 where he was an old man. Like, give me that time, that space between. That's super fucking cool. And I love that Ewan McGregor came back. That's awesome. Like, I feel like he's going to have a blast with this now that he doesn't have to probably read shitty dialogue.
I think serialized television is just the best thing to ever happen to Star Wars.
I agree with that.
No matter what the medium, because the world now is so huge, and people are touching on different facets of it, right? Like the world goes beyond the Skywalkers, and I know we're talking about Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and all that, but like the world is ginormous,
right?
And it, serialized television tells you can tell more complex stories and with better character development, even if the dialogue isn't the best, right? Like you can and it has the show, the stories, the world has room to breathe. So it's the best, man. It's the best. Like
I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Next up, there had been like sort of rumors about this kind of, percolating, but it turns out it's actually true, is they're going back to X-Men 97, the animated series. They're exploring more stories from the iconic 1990s timeline of the original X-Men. So this is obviously, they're saying that it picks up right where the X-Men animated series ended in 97 on Fox. And just kind of keeps moving forward with some of the principal voice actors coming back, which will be a bit weird because like 97 was a long time ago and people's voices change.
No, it's the Simpsons have been doing, the actors who play the Simpsons have been doing their voice for 30 years.
That's true. But what's the dude who does Optimus Prime?
Yeah, once you get into like your very senior years, you know what I mean? That's right. Like if you go back and listen to and watch More Than Meets the Eye, and then you go back and watch the Michael Bay Transformer movies, you would think they were two different people.
Yeah, you know like what I mean? you can hear the classic voice through the like, oh, you getting old, dog. Yeah, like Kevin Conroy still has the voice. But sometimes it's a bit strained, and you're like, sad. Like,
like if you, I think these people can still pull it off.
I hope so.
I think these people can still pull it off. Yeah. Well, all the stuff we got going on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Look, that last, I haven't watched in a long time. Them last couple seasons of X-Men, the animated series, they were rough, man. They were real rough.
Yeah, because they like changed animation houses, I think.
Yeah, they cheaped out on the animation, and it's just like can't do it. Can't do it.
It's a bit rough. And that last season, they just like didn't give a fuck. They were like, just take this nigga to space. Like we're ending it. Like this shit was just like a bastardized Sheer Empire story. It was awful. But
I'm super excited for the lead character designer for X-Men 97.
I saw that.
Amelia Vidal is her name. She does wonderful work. Her art is beautiful, and
so they're clearly changing it a bit, which is cool.
Yeah, it feels it's like a modernized version of the classic look that those characters have. Right. She's got some super talent, and I really dig what she's doing. So
I am definitely okay with that. Look, I like that cartoon. I think it's a lot of fun. It certainly made me more interested in the X-Men back then than I ever was. And I think it basically, I mean, the article goes on, or not this article, but one of the articles goes on to say like it's directly responsible for us getting the X-Men in 2000, like the live action version, and that's 100% true because everybody was at a fever pitch like X-Men, and then 3 years later. You got the real life movie, so which kicked off obviously massive changes. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, All right, I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Go. Okay, next up, Moon Knight. Look, they don't show much in this little preview that they sent out. I'm not even going to bother putting it up here on screen. But I think it looks cool. Looks interesting. We've never had a superhero with like multiple personality disorder. So that's kind of interesting. Also, it's starring Oscar Isaac, who, he's an okay actor, I guess.
Yeah, I hear he's going to be big one day.
One day that guy will make it. One day. It's also nice to see him get a redemption in a superhero movie, because that X-Men Apocalypse movie was trash. And
that's right. He was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he would rather you not remember too. Like, forget all that. But I think it looks cool. It looks interesting. I'm not a Moon Knight person. Like, I've never really read much of Moon Knight. I read like 1 or 2 comics, which I wasn't that blown away by. But I'm interested to be pulled in, right? Like, make me interested. That's kind of where I am. So I have no preconceived notions of the character at all.
Yeah.
Next up, we did get a little bit of a look at She-Hulk. Look, this is supposed to be like 10, 30-minute episodes, because it's going to be like largely comedic, I think, and kind of sitcom-y almost in style. That's the talk. I don't know that for sure. With Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth returning as the Hulk and Abomination, respectively, and Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters. The little bit we saw of the effects of her were kind of interesting. I'm glad that I'm glad that the show has a real budget, because they're going to really have to spend it when she is hulked out. And at least from the trailer that you got, she's not going to stay hulked out all the time, at least for now. So at least in the beginning of the series.
I'm very curious how they're going to do this. I can't imagine that. Think about what facial technology has been able to do, right? Like,
right.
Are they gonna like swap this woman's body, like put this woman's like they could deep fake this woman's face onto someone else's body?
They could. It looks like, and that would have actually been super interesting, just to get like a super jacked female bodybuilder, but just deep fake this, just kind of deep fake it. But no, I think what's going to end up happening is it's really her, but they're basically going to deep fake her body, right? Like, they're going to just CGI the body, so that it just looks larger. I think that's basically how.
Yeah, like basically the reverse of what they did with Chris Evans pre Super Soldier Serum,
right? Or what they do with the Hulk, right? Like, normally they use Mark. He goes in and does his mocap.
Well,
shit.
he's all in mocap. Like this. I mean, this still of her. I don't know. Maybe it's just really good mocap, but maybe it's just really good effects. But it looks like a woman painted green is physically standing there.
Well, so, it'll be interesting.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious to the effect.
Yeah, I'm curious as to the superhero aspect of this, but like the real world kind of aspects of like her being a lawyer and shit. Like, and it's interesting because as this series is coming up in 2022, spoiler alert for Eternals, but Star Fox was introduced, and people don't know. Maybe some people don't know this. But Star Fox has a very specific case where he gets accused of sexual harassment or like basic kind of like mind controlling a woman to sleep with him. And Jennifer Walters is like ends up, I think, defending him at one point, but then thinks he's guilty and shit like that. So like, are they gonna specifically deal with lawyer shit about superheroes, or is she gonna be just a general lawyer? It'll be interesting. It would be funny that Star Fox shows up if he shows up in this series. It's 100% possible now that he's in the universe. So you never can tell. Next up, we got a little bit more of a look at Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan. We really got to see her in her kid makeshift uniform, which I thought was funny. The helmet looks like it's made out of like paper mache, which is just fucking funny to me. And we didn't get her in her full costume, which there has been behind the scenes shots of that, which looks fucking fantastic. So yeah, Okay, I'm cool with it. Works for me.
Yeah, it looks cute, right? Like, and I don't mean that in like some weird derogatory way.
Right. She's 16.
Right. It looks cute. Like,
yeah. She's not dressed like a hooker. She's dressed like a 16-year-old kid would dress as a superhero. Like,
right. like she looks like she made that cosplay. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So, but I liked it. I thought it was inventive. It looked fun. Next up, we got the official word that Agatha House of Harkness is actually happening with Catherine Hahn returning as Agatha Harkness from WandaVision. We found out is that Jack Schaefer is returning as the head writer. I guess Jack Schaefer was the head writer for WandaVision, or at least worked on WandaVision. So that's cool. So you get like it won't feel disparate, right? Like it'll feel more common between those two series. Look, I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm super fucking interested to see how they pull this off because she was a breakout character. She was fun.
Yeah, she was fun. I have no opinion on this other than like I'll allow it.
Yeah. Carrie, relax. Carrie is Carrie is just screaming her head off in excitement over this. Understand. Next up, Spider-Man Freshman Year. This is a new animated series which follows Peter Parker on his way to becoming the Spider-Man in the MCU, with a style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots. That's kind of interesting because he doesn't really get the Spider-Man suit until the MCU. So like until his debut with Tony Stark. So I guess this is just him bumming around in the sweatpants and the hoodie, which is kind of fun.
I imagine that this is going to be like their version of what those CW shows are, only animated, right? I see Peter Parker in the, sweater vest, white shirt, glasses. And I see if this is 8 episodes, I see him in the 3rd episode going on the field trip, and getting bit by the spider. First 2 episodes of setup, 3rd episode, he gets bit. 4th episode, you learn about your powers, and then 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8, I have no idea, but
Uncle Ben dies. Uncle Ben dies.
Yeah. It culminates. I think the season culminates with either the penultimate or the ultimate episode ends with Uncle Ben dying.
Yeah, because we've never met Uncle Ben. We've never seen a picture of him. We've never anything. So, I'm hoping that Tom Holland does the voice. Like, I really hope that they make this feel like very much a part of his story.
Well, they better do it within 5 years because he doesn't want to play Spider-Man after 30.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's been in GQ. He did an article for GQ, and he said, if I'm playing Spider-Man after I'm 30, something's wrong. And maybe he's like also 22? Said he's 25. 25. And he's also said, maybe it's time for a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie.
I think he's right.
Which is very interesting because I have a couple thoughts on that, and I don't know if you want to get into it now or if you want to get into it when we talk about Spider-Man. But
no, let's get into it now so we can concentrate on that fully.
So I understand where he's coming from, right? Like, sure. No one wants to necessarily be an actor. Doesn't necessarily want to be known for one role, right? They want to. They're actors. They're professional liars. They want to show that off. That's what I call them, man. It's what they are. And I understand, but I think a Miles movie, a live action Miles movie, is in the cards, right? It's going to happen. Yep. But what I would do is, if I had my druthers, we don't really see Spider-Man as a man. There are so many other stories that you can tell, more grown-up stories, more complicated stories that you can tell being an adult and having to, like, And if he wanted to do it, like imagine him marrying Mary Jane, right? Like that would be a big deal, right? Like imagine.
And then the devil breaks them up.
Let's not talk about
no, that's how it happens.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that at all. And imagine, like I have this in my head canon, right? We see Spider-Man growing up, maybe do some Parker Industry stuff if you want to, right? But we see him growing up. We see him get married. We see him maybe have a child, if you know. But I also want to see a little brown kid get inspired, right? I want to see a little brown kid get inspired. I want to see him get bit. I want to see him not really know what to do. I want to see Spider. I want them to have an adult Peter Parker, but with the ultimate Peter Parker's death, right? Like I want that Peter to sacrifice his life. I want Miles to see it, and I want him to realize that he has great power, and with that comes great responsibility.
That's it.
He's obligated to help people now because he saw Spider-Man fucking do it, man. Like that's I would love to see that, but you know,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree with you. Like that ultimate arc for Spider-Man is amazing, right? And it's sad, like Jesus Christ. And Into the Spider-Verse, I'm just like, why do I feel all of these feelings? Like, it's brutal, right? It's fucking brutal. And it's weird because you spent no time with that Spider-Man in that movie. He just dies in the beginning and you're just like, but all of your feelings of that character from the years of watching Spider-Man and reading Spider-Man all came with you to the theater, right? So like when you lost him, you were just like, oh, I lost him in the book and that was bad enough, but Jesus Christ, it's on the screen now? The people are talking? This is horrible, right? So I agree with you. It's actually a powerful fucking arc for that character. They will never kill Peter Parker on screen.
No, they're never going to do that.
They're never going to do that. There never are. However, what you could do is you could have him retire, right? And he's just like, hey, look, I got a family and this is becoming too dangerous for my kid and everything else. But in that arc, this little brown kid sees him and he's like, yo, this guy is fucking amazing, right? And then maybe Spider-Man is like, publicly, like, I'm done, or maybe not publicly, right? And
no,
like, not publicly, but he's, you know, he's gone, right? Like for suddenly, like Peter Parker's like, I'm done, and he's gone, and somehow Miles trips and falls into finding out that it's Peter Parker, and he's like, you got to come back, or whatever. At the same time, Miles gets bitten by the spider or whatever, and he's like, look, kid, you actually have these powers, and you know, like, let me train you. Like you could get that training moment, which. Look, who don't love a training montage, especially an elder Peter Parker training a young Miles who doesn't want to fucking see that, trains him up and he's like, you're fucking ready, right? And then he takes over as the Spider-Man moving forward in the MCU. I think that would be amazing. But I don't see them killing Peter Parker as much as it would be kind of amazing. But you don't need him to die in order for... No. In order to have that, to pass that torch and it to be powerful, right? Because even in Into the Spider-Verse, and again, slightly choked up as a dad.
It's the best Spider-Man movie, guys.
It is. But in fairness, it's also animated, and that's not fair to the other movies. But the moment where he knows that like all these spider people are, you know, taking on Kingpin and all this other shit. All of that's going on, and he's scared, and he just has that moment of like, with Peter in his fucking head, like, you got to make it your own thing, right? Like, that's who you are. You can do this shit. And he fucking pulls on the mask and he goes to war. That is everything that character should be. And you don't need to have Peter Parker, and that you didn't have that Peter Parker die. He just had to inspire him and leave. And that's enough. But that's what people want. Like, you don't have to kill Peter Parker, but at a certain point, you can't just have this nigga 65 years old as Peter Parker. Like, this shit is not going to work, right? You got to pass the torch. And that's why Miles was created, too. Like, let's get real. Like, how long are you going to play this one character for fucking 50 years. So look, however they do it would be very cool. But I'm super interested in freshman year because we haven't had a good, in my opinion, we haven't had a really, really good Spider-Man animated series. Except for the one on Fox where Mary Jane threw herself off of a building to see if Peter Parker loved her. That's psycho.
Some of the other ones are. There have been other ones that are very good. There are other ones that are very good.
Like, the Fox one was nuts. I'll keep your secret, Peter Parker, to the day I die. Oh, you're at a terminal institution. That's fucked up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but however it works, I'm here for it. Look, more Spider-Man, more the better. Echo, character with Echo is going to be introduced in Hawkeye, who is a deaf character, which is interesting, a deaf Native American. And then she's getting her own Disney Plus series. So that character is clearly going to be a breakout, which is very cool. I look forward to it. I don't know anything about this character at all. An animated series based on Marvel Zombies? Like
this one is the one where I'm just like, you do you. I do not care.
Yeah, I'm also interested, is that going to be the Marvel Zombies that we saw in What If? Like, is it going to be that universe, that specific universe? So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But I agree with you. Zombies are a little fucking played out. Ironheart, we've known about this. They're just kind of reconfirming it. Secret Invasion, we've known about this. We just got a picture of Samuel L. Jackson looking grizzled as fuck. That's all we got. What If Season 2, which we already knew was happening, and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which we already knew was happening. And then we got to meet the cast of Willow, the series, which I'm super excited for. And like the rest of it is like Zootopia Plus and da-da-da-da. These are other Hocus Pocus 2, shit like that I don't really care about, and I don't think you care either. So... yeah, so there you go. Those are all the big ones. Moving on from there, do we have time to do what the fuck, or you want to just jump into trailers this week?
Let's just jump into trailers this week because who don't want to talk about Spider-Man?
Yeah, so we're gonna get what the fuck.
We'll save them. We'll save them for next time.
Yeah. So JTD, we're just gonna use the same stories next week. Don't worry about it. All right. All right. So let's jump into trailers. Obviously, the big trailer this week was Spider-Man No Way Home, the sort of full trailer. And look, this looks amazing, to say the least. It looks absolutely amazing. What were your general thoughts?
I mean, I don't know where to begin. This thing looks like it's going to be a very, very good time. Now, it will be the second longest movie in the MCU. And the money shot is, all these villains coming together. Right. But you really only see them in one location, which makes me think that, they're going to come through most of them, the lesser ones are going to come through at the end of the film. Right.
Oh, you think so? Okay. I hope the lizard comes in the last 2 minutes because he fucking sucks.
Yeah, you're not going to see the lizard throughout this thing. You're not going to see, the Electro throughout this thing. It's as a matter of fact, the trailer looks like it's cut in the 3 acts that the film will be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
So you'll probably see Electro in the second act, and the Sandman and the Lizard, and all of them will come in the third act. But I look, Doc Ock is back. Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus is wonderful. It is. And I don't care what you think about that movie, whatever revisionist history you have about you hating those movies now. Like, nah, yo, he's amazing. And he looks amazing because Doc Ock in every incarnation and iteration and incantation is fucking amazing.
It's the special effects do look really good, man. They do.
They do, man. Like he's like, there's one shot where it looks like he's pulled the nanotech off of the Iron Spider suit to fit his tentacles, and I'm I'm super excited especially for like all the little things that I see in this. Electro gets his classic inspired comic book outfit as opposed to his ultimate inspired comic book look from the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Which was a good
still
change,
has. It is a good change. I don't mind Electro. Like, I thought it looked cool. At least in the books, like, he was more like pure energy, and they explained it away like halfway decently in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I think the classic Electro look is so ridiculous that to see it on screen is something that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
the Lizard still looks dumb. He still looks like a Goomba.
Yeah, they should have changed the face. Like, just pull the face out so he looks like an actual lizard. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's interesting that it seems like Peter doesn't want, as Doctor Strange pointed out to him, all these people die fighting Spider-Man. And Tom Holland's Spider-Man is like, nah, I don't want people to die. Yeah, like, I don't care if they're villains. I don't want people to die. So I'm interested in the friction there. I'm just so fucking excited for this thing, man.
Yeah, look, there is a lot of things about this that I think are going to be very cool. Like, one of the things that I think is going to be really slick. Like, look, spoiler alert: Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are 100% in this movie. Like, relax.
Yeah,
okay?
Of course they're in it.
Right, like they're in it. Right, like the scene where you
they
see
were
like
edited out.
Right, like this scene where all the villains are jumping at Spider-Man and the lizard's kind of jumping at nothing. It's because Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, probably Andrew Garfield, is down there fighting him, right? Because if you watch the Brazilian trailer, he gets punched in the face or kicked in the face out of nowhere because they photoshopped him out. Like, it's fine. But that all being said, there's a scene where MJ falls off the building, and it's just like, Tom Holland Spider-Man is like, oh shit, and he's like trying to, jump after her, which is, a callback to, the death of Gwen Stacy.
Specifically the way it's shot is a callback directly to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Not just the death of Gwen Stacy, but the death of Gwen Stacy in that movie.
Right. I think that Holland doesn't get there in time, and I think that's Andrew Garfield's moment to fucking redeem himself for not saving Gwen Stacy, which to me is a perfect emotional beat. That's a perfect emotional beat to be like, I got you, kid. Like, no big deal. Like, come on, man. Like, this is the difference between Sony doing these movies and Marvel doing these movies. Because there's no way in a Sony done production, fully done production, they nail that. And I'd bet that hand that you see of Spider-Man, the reason why you don't see Spider-Man's whole body, because I bet that's Andrew Garfield. I'd almost bet you that that's actually his glove and not Tom Holland's. So, or like he misses and then she falls further. And
that's what I think happens. Yeah. I think the hand reaches, he grasps, but he misses. And he doesn't think to use his webs, right, to try and grab her. And then Andrew Garfield comes in and fucking redeems himself.
Now, by the way, if that happens, that's the first time I want to see Garfield on screen.
Yeah,
I want that to be the
first
moment.
time I want to see. I want that. I want Andrew Garfield to come first in that scene, and then the big dog, fucking Cry McGee. Fucking emo Peter. Like I want Tobey Maguire to be the last one that you see come in.
Yeah. And like he's got to be. Yeah, you're right. He's got to be the big dog. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like
the pop.
I'm gonna watch all of those movies again before. Within this month.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But the pop that you'll get if Garfield comes in that scene to save Mary Jane will be fucking insane in theaters. It will be insane. Get your fucking vaccine, goddammit. Who doesn't want to see this movie in theaters, dude? I would be there's no way I'd watch this at home first. No fucking way, dude. Not first. Nah, yo. I will put on 3 masks before I don't see this in theaters. I am Look, get boosted twice. Get boosted like a Honda Accord in the 90s. Go get your vaccines, yo. Come on. It's going to be so good. So, yeah, look, I'm super excited. And I think there's a lot more that we don't know. If you look at the count, you got 5 villains. Who's number 6, right? Some people say it's Venom. Some people say it's Vulture. So, like, who knows? I read
somewhere that Michael Keaton said that he's shooting some stuff. So I don't know what that means.
I think it's Vulture, but it could also be Scorpion because Scorpion exists. He exists in the MCU. We know that, right? We've never seen him fully realized. However, there's also another thing. It could be both, right? It could be you get Vulture, but you think, oh, well, he's joined the Sinister Six, and he doesn't, and then here comes Scorpion as number 6.
The only problem with it being Scorpion is that people are going to, unless you know, people are going to be like, who?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the actor who played Matt Gargan, he maybe said what 2-3 lines in that first Spider-Man movie, Homecoming,
right?
And I don't think that would have the impact. So it's gotta have impact. So it'll be either Vulture or Venom.
I don't see it being.
And
Venom.
I don't see it being Venom, but I also don't want it to be Venom. So there's my bias.
Yeah.
Now I think Venom makes an appearance in like a Stinger or something like that.
That's possible.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I agree with that. The one last point that I'll make is at the end of the trailer where there's like all of the shit's going on and Stranger's like, they're all coming through. I can't stop them. I don't think that's a reference to anything that you've seen. I don't think it is. I think that is more of a reference to something major. And I think that is the universes fully colliding from the fallout from Loki. I think that's what that truly is, because he says in the trailer that since we did that wish, we've had all these visitors from other dimensions. That implies that has nothing to do with what happened at the end of Loki, which that could be edited to make you believe that, granted. But I think that maybe the full on, hey, I can't stop these people. I think that is other characters. I think that is just like the universes are coming together and like people are going to start showing up, and it's like, oh shit, which would be kind of a fun stinger. Like that could be your implication of a Venom, Morbius, and all that other fucking Sony shit, and other things. Cam and our fan group had a really good point that this might be the movie that you get America Chavez in first, right? Since you're dealing with multiple universes, to set her up before you get to Doctor Strange 2, which I think is not a bad thought either. So.
Yeah. Look, man, I don't know what to say about this that hasn't already been said. I'm super excited for this. I'm super excited to see Alfred Molina, who was my number one. I am super excited to see Willem Dafoe, who really owns that Goblin role, man. Like he really does.
You couldn't have put anybody else, to be honest.
It's he's a wild dude, man. Like he's a wild dude, especially in those movies.
Hurry up and groom her fast. Wow.
My old millennial heart grew 3 times the size when I saw that stupid ass Goblin costume.
I know.
I fucking dig it, man. I really do.
Like it looks ridiculous, but clearly he's getting a little bit of a different suit later on, which is fine. Which is fine because that Power Ranger shit looks ridiculous. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because Willem Dafoe's face is so fucking ugly. He doesn't need a goblin mask.
He really doesn't.
Just put a hood on him and put some fucking glasses on him.
He's not a handsome gentleman, but I love that guy, man. I love that guy. Like, cause like he is a stellar actor. He is. Yeah, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. December 17th can't get here fast enough for me.
Damn. Do you think we get a showdown from the primary antagonists of each of the movies, right? Like do we get a 6-man tag with the 3 Spider-Man versus like Green Goblin? Who is, I guess, the Lizard, I guess. Who the hell is Andrew Garfield's number 1, right?
Yeah.
And Tom Holland and I don't know, Vulture. I don't know. I'm just fuck, man. I'm so excited for this goddamn movie.
I also think you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get the meme, right? The Spider-Man like pointing at each other, like, "Oh shit!"
Yes,
like, "Oh shit!"
I meant to say that.
You have to have that.
If they don't do it, the movie fails. Right?
Yeah, you have to do that meme, dude. You have to do it. Like, there's never been an opportunity to do it. Like just a moment, like, "Oh shit, what?" Like, oh, and just like the pan out of the 3 of them pointing at each other. Like, come on, that would be
like they did,
beautiful.
Like they did it in Into the Spider-Verse in the Stinger with Miguel O'Hara, but like, nah, yo, like you gotta
live action.
You gotta do it here, yo.
You have to do it once. You got to do it once. But the one thing, and then we're gonna end it. The one thing here that I think is absolutely important, and I think they've always had this planned from the time they brought Spider-Man into the MCU. I think they had this plan, and the reason why I say that is because we've never heard it. Tobey Maguire has to teach Tom Holland, with great power comes great responsibility. He has to teach him that line, because it's like it's a
Tom Holland doesn't say it.
He's never said it, and it's like he has to tell him, because it's sort of almost like a double entendre, right? Like, not only is it the line of the series, right? Like, it's of your character, but it's also this OG fucking passing on this torch to you, right? And that's kind of cool, right? Because it's like, whether you are a fan of Maguire's over the other 2, or Andrew Garfield's over the other 2, or Tom Holland's over the other 2, everybody knows, like, we would never get to any of those guys if it wasn't for the start. And you need that guy to just be like, come on, man, here's the line. And like, he tells him, and he's like, and it's got to be that thing where he hears, like the Miles conversation, like, in that last moment where he's got to like do something like that seems insurmountable, like he's got to hear that with great power comes great responsibility, and he fucking goes for it. Like, he's got to hear that line. So that's important to me. Like, those kind of character moments really important, because to me, the best character moment in any Spider-Man movie, like not action wise, has been in Holland's, where he's like, that moment where he's trapped under the fucking rubble in the first one, and he's like, come on, Spider-Man, like, nobody's gonna help you. You got to do this yourself. And to me, it's one of the most powerful moments in a Spider-Man movie. They need something equally to resonate like that in this movie, and that's what I'm really hoping for. So,
yeah,
I can't wait, man.
Tickets go on sale November 29th, something like that.
I might buy my tickets early, and I never.
Oh, I'm definitely buying my tickets early.
All right, we got.
Yeah, because if we don't, it's gonna be another Spider-Man 2 situation.
See, I can't do that. Our friendship will never recover, yo. It will never recover. Yeah. If I sit in the front, and you're in the back enjoying it, nah, yo. Like, we can't be friends after that. Like, we can't talk anymore. Like, the show is over. Like, get out of here. No. Like, yo, when did Spider-Man? Was it 2000? It came out, right? 2000, 2001.
2002 is when the original Spider-Man came out.
Okay, 2002. We have literally waited until 2021 to see this. Like, that's insane. That's insane. We've waited 20 years to see these 3 fucking assholes on screen together kicking ass. Like, yo, you can't talk to me about the MCU not having the best Spider-Man movie after this. You can't. It's over. Like, it's over. Knock it off. The 3 of them, the only thing that can make it better is if they kept it completely quiet and Miles Morales shows up in the last minute to just blow the whole universe up. At that point, you just retire. Like, just shut it down. There's nothing else to do. Like, this is going to be the top. This is going to be the top of the top. So I'm super excited, man. I cannot wait. All right. That is it for us This has been recorded over 2 days, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.